No, none of it was fake. It was 100% unequivocally, without any asterisks or any explanation, real. But there was a lot to it, so I wanted to make a video and explain. I got the selfie stick. Check out the name of this hotel. It's day one of production. We're headed to the location now. There's Santa's Village. The sun's up. This is as sunny as it gets here, and we're like 10 minutes away from the first shot. I'd seen pictures and parts of it while it was being made, but this right here, this is the exact moment when I saw the drone complete for the first time. Oh my God.
I thought you were gonna come look at it. We're gonna set it up for you and everything.
I stay until 2 in the morning making this shit.
Nothing like this has ever existed before.
This is ridiculous.
You can't even fly this in North America. A little bit about that drone. That is a 16-motor hexadecacopter. That's hexadecacopter. It has 16 31-inch carbon fiber propellers powered by 16 independent motors. It flies with an entirely redundant battery system, propeller system, flight controls, and motor controls. The total diameter of that drone is 10 feet. The drone itself weighs 165 pounds. With me, my snowboard, all the rigging attached to it, it came in closer to 365 pounds. It has 16 batteries, and at 100% throttle, has 1,050 pounds of thrust. The drone has 4,000 amps of potential current at any given moment. It takes about 400 amps of current to start an American V8 automobile engine. So theoretically, that drone could start up 10 V8s at the same time. For lift comparison, that drone could lift 350 DJI Phantom 4 drones. It had 81 kilowatts of available power, which is about 108 horsepower, which is a little bit more than the average motorcycle. It had enough power to power an average American home for 40 straight hours. And probably the most interesting aspect of the entire drone was just the sheer amount of redundancy needed to safely lift a person into the air. It had to be a large aircraft with 16 motors or more. It had to have enough thrust on each of the axes to recover from a propeller or a motor controller or a motor failure. This thing was a true commercial machine. Comparable engineering or manufacturing work to like a regular manned airplane or helicopter. This thing was no joke. This wasn't built in a garage. This was a very, very serious machine. That guy Justin, his wife Elaine, and Stratton in the truck there, they built this thing, and it took them the better part of the last year to do it. Today's either day 3 or day 4. We completely changed locations, like different town, different everything. We did drive here. That right there, that's a proper ski mountain. So this is like our, and we have like some pretty amazing locations here this morning. I'm very excited about this. Now, there were some assertions online that I never actually flew or that it was CGI or the whole thing was computer generated. Well, one, have you ever seen anything computer generated that's that good? I saw Star Wars yesterday and I could tell what was fake and what was real. But I get where the criticism comes from, especially because there's never really a clear shot that shows me being pulled and then lifted into the air and then coming back down without a cut. And that was done on purpose. That was done with purpose. And let me explain. You see, I couldn't actually be pulled by the drone and then fly into the air as like smoothly or this is the drone, this is me, that's my snowboard. I imagined it like this, drone pulling me, going off the jump, and I would soar like that. The reality was very different. If I was being pulled by the drone like this, like you saw in the video, which was real, and then I'd gone off a jump like this, here's what would have happened. The minute I left the air, I would have swung like this, like a pendulum. So the only way to fly was to have the drone literally lift me, very carefully, lift me straight up. And then once I was underneath it like this, it could fly anywhere, provided it kept me kind of dangling like this. So that's why, like, before I go over that gigantic building, you see me flying, and then I'm going over it. You never see me lift off. Even in the one where I'm jumping that snowbank, if you look closely, I don't actually ramp off the snowbank. Justin, the drone pilot, just was very good at like lifting me like this before it. It looked like I was launching off it and then flew me away. The other big question I saw a lot was about whether or not I was strapped in. And the answer is yes, I was completely rigged safely and professionally, and 2, no, I wasn't rigged in at all. Let me explain. I think I'm more excited about today's location than any location thus far this week.
It's amazing, right? This is like a different planet.
In all the shots where I'm just like being towed and I'm like racing around through the streets and going up the ski mountain and I'm just riding, for all of those, I wasn't strapped in at all. Like, there was no safety, I could just let go of the rope and the drone would take off. Now, when I was flying, when I was actually being lifted, it was the opposite. I did not want to be able to let go or rely on one freezing hand to lift my entire body weight up. So for that, I had like this wire that came out of my arm because it couldn't come off my waist or off my back like this. It would just be impossible to ride. So it had to come through that one hand so my other hand would be free to ride. I feel great. This really sucked, but because there were like 16 rotors here, they were sending so much wind down that when I stood like this, the snowboard here acted almost like a fan blade with the wind coming down and literally like spun me like a top. That happened the first day. They tried to fix it by like attaching a string to my foot going down so there was a guy on the ground that could keep me from spinning. But the string looked stupid, that's why I didn't use any of that footage. In the end, I figured out that as long as I was like holding the board like in a super gnarly grab where I look like a real snowboarder, then the wind would flow through it. So that's why in all the shots where I'm flying, I'm holding the board, I'm grabbing the board. And I look like a rad snowboard dude from the 80s, but also that was the only way to keep the rotor wash from spinning me like a top. Just like a super abbreviated backstory as to how this thing came to be. This was like one of my crazy ideas that I pitched to Samsung like almost a year ago. We were gonna shoot it this summer in the Caribbean because I wanted to fly over an island riding on a surfboard. Didn't come to fruition because like, so when they asked if I wanted to try to do it this winter, I was like, yes, this is the holiday video. And then things just kind of snowballed from there. That's it. That was the final shot. 5 days of shooting done, in the can. That's it, man. Yeah, we did it.
Come on. Use the last line.
All right, that's it. That's a wrap on the entire production. And if there are still any doubts as to the authenticity of what we did, I'm going to be releasing the 360 video probably tomorrow or something. You can like pause it and look around and try to figure out how we faked that too. We didn't fake it. That'll be posted soon. All right, any other outstanding questions as to how we did this, ask below. I'll try to answer them on Twitter or something. Okay, cool. Good to see you again. Have a great holiday. looked like it was, I know it looked like it was just Jesse and me that made this whole movie, but this is the actual team. All right, hit it. Here, am I blocking everyone? All right. Good work, everybody. Thank you, everyone.
Mikä tyyppistä kelkkapuskeille keikkaa?